Welcome to the webinar. I am Rick Thomas. This is Introduction to Biblical Counseling, lesson number 4. The mission for our ministry is to help people by providing practical tools and ongoing training for effective living. Tonight, in lesson 4, we're going to be talking about what Paul said in Romans 15, verse 14. He said, "I myself am satisfied about you, my brothers, that you yourselves are full of goodness, filled with all knowledge, and able to instruct one another." The three big parts in this verse: that you are filled with goodness, that you are filled with knowledge, and that you're able to instruct one another. This goes along with what I was teaching in an earlier webinar, that two core components of our counseling ministry is compassion and competence. Paul says that you are filled with goodness. He says that you're also competent, that you are filled with knowledge. And with those two core components, that you are able to instruct, or nutheteo is the word for instruction here. And some of you may be familiar with that word. Perhaps you have heard the word or the words nuthetic counseling. Well, it comes from this verse in Romans 15:14. And so we try to teach our students in our mastermind program, you must be full of goodness, and you must be filled with knowledge so that you are able to instruct one another. The Great Commission says this. You know the text well. "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations." What should we be doing? Making disciples? How do we do this? Go is a participle, therefore you could read it as you are going, you should be baptizing and you should be teaching them all that Jesus had commanded. In a picture form, the big idea in this verse is to make disciples. That is the centerpiece. That is what we are supposed to be doing. And so our goal, our purpose, according to this text, is to go find people and make disciples out of them. And so as we are going, now the idea of converting, baptizing, the implication is that these people become regenerated, that they have been saved by God, thus they are baptized. It does not mean, and we do not teach, that you're saved by being baptized. So as you are going, you are leading people to Christ, you are baptizing them, and then you begin to teach them. Jesus said that you teach them to observe all that I have commanded you. Our ministry focused more on this aspect of the Great Commission, teaching. We do evangelism, we love evangelism, but the way that God has shaped us, the way that He has made us, our point of focus is, well, we can't do it all. And so our point of focus has been historically to teach them to observe all that I commanded you, with the idea that they can go out and begin to make disciples. Let's take a short coffee break. And I just want to make two appeals. One, would you help us to keep our resources free? If you're not supporting us and are able to, you can support us for as little as $5 a month, and that would really help us. Multiplied thousands of people come to us every day, come to our website, come to our Sanctification Center, and only a small number of those are actually supporting us. We can reach more with more supporters. If you're able to support us, would you do that? And then the second appeal, if your church would be willing to have me come and do this Introduction to Biblical Counseling series to your entire church. I would love to talk about that. I would love to consider it. I would love to see how we can make that happen. If we can envision an entire church in this idea of discipleship, that would be so good. And if you want to talk about that, please shoot me an email, and I'll be glad to discuss.